When you stop reaching out to a woman, it changes the whole dynamic. Most men assume that silence just makes her forget, move on, or stop caring. But that's not how female psychology works. In reality, when you go quiet, something powerful happens in her mind. It creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is what keeps attraction alive. Welcome to the channel. Today we're diving into a controversial but very real truth about women. The moment you pull back, her mind reacts in ways you might not expect. This matters because many men get it completely wrong. They think constant texting, checking in, or always being available keeps her secure and interested. But in truth, overchasing suffocates attraction. When you stop contacting her, that's when everything shifts. This isn't about playing childish games. It's about understanding how women think and how your actions either build or destroy attraction. Women are emotional, and silence triggers specific buttons in their psychology. When you step back, she starts questioning. Did you lose interest? Did you find someone else? Did she push you away? And those questions fuel curiosity and sometimes even desire. Here's the controversial part. At first, she might act like she doesn't care. She may stay distant or even cold. But underneath, she's processing your absence. Once she realizes she no longer gets the attention she once had on demand, her behavior changes. That's when her true colors show, whether she's genuinely interested or just enjoyed the validation. In this video, I'll explain exactly what happens in her mind when you stop contacting her. By the end, you'll know not only how she reacts, but also how to handle it in a way that keeps you in control. 1. The shock of silence. The first thing she feels when you stop contacting her is disruption. Most men don't realize how quickly a woman gets used to your presence. Whether it's texts, calls, or little check-ins, she adapts to that rhythm. And when it suddenly stops, silence feels loud. Women are naturally tuned into patterns. They notice changes, even subtle ones. When you pull back, her brain registers that something she relied on is no longer there. It's like removing a chair she always leaned on. She doesn't notice it much until she goes to lean, and it's gone. That absence hits hard. It's not your words she misses. It's the reassurance they gave her. Your attention confirmed she was important and that she had access to you. When that disappears, her mind starts racing. Why isn't he texting? Did he lose interest? Is there someone else? Did I push him away? These thoughts stir emotions, and that's why silence instantly gets noticed. Even the most confident woman feels it. Silence interrupts her sense of comfort, and human psychology reacts strongly when patterns break. Sometimes it's not even about love, it's about ego. She may not be deeply invested yet, but your consistent attention gave her a sense of security. Losing that makes her question her importance in your life. That's why silence is powerful. It communicates without words. And the more she took your presence for granted, the stronger she feels your absence when it's gone. 2. How uncertainty fuels her curiosity. After the initial shock, uncertainty begins to take over. And uncertainty is one of the most effective forces in female psychology. A woman's mind doesn't sit still when she doesn't have answers. It starts running, imagining, filling in the blanks. When you were always texting or calling, she knew exactly where she stood. You were predictable and accessible. That gave her comfort, but it also gave her control. When you go silent, that control disappears. And that's when curiosity kicks in. Women are emotional detectives. When something feels off, they don't just ignore it. They start replaying conversations, analyzing details, and questioning themselves. Did he lose interest? Is he testing me? Did I say something wrong? Is he with someone else? But your silence provides no clear answers, which keeps her hooked. Here's where most men mess up. They reach out, explain themselves, or over-reassure her. But reassurance kills curiosity. Certainty calms her down, yes, but it doesn't keep her intrigued. What keeps her interested is not knowing. Scarcity makes things valuable. When she doesn't hear from you, your attention becomes scarce, and scarcity makes her pay attention. She starts comparing the silence to the attention you once gave, realizing how much she actually valued it. Uncertainty also stirs mixed emotions, frustration, longing, even anger. But all of those emotions are tied to you. Even when she's upset, she's still emotionally invested. That paradox is what deepens her focus on you. 3. Why silence stings more than words. Words can be explained, argued, or brushed off. Silence can't. That's why it cuts deeper. Silence forces her to sit with her own doubts and emotions, and that has more impact than anything you could say. When you argue, explain, or chase, she gets clarity. Even if she doesn't like the answer, she knows where you stand. But when you say nothing, the tension lingers. Her mind assigns meaning to your silence, often fueled by her own insecurities. Why hasn't he called? Did I push him away? Did he move on? Every unanswered question chips at her ego. Here's the twist. Your silence doesn't just sting. It magnifies your presence. The less you say, the louder your absence feels. It shows up in the moments she expected to hear from you. It echoes in the spaces your attention used to fill. And unlike arguments that make her feel in control, silence makes her feel powerless. She can't predict or control you. That unpredictability pulls her deeper into thought, and attraction often starts to rebuild. 4. The ego shock of being ignored. Silence doesn't just touch emotions, it hits the ego. Most women are used to validation, attention, and reassurance from men. When you break that pattern, it stings in a way she can't easily brush off. Attention is currency. It confirms she's desirable and important. When you stop giving it, she feels a gap. And it's not only about missing you, it's about what it says about her self-image. At first, she may act like she doesn't care. But as time passes, cracks appear. She checks her phone more, replays conversations, maybe even posts things online to get a reaction. It's all an attempt to get back the validation she lost. This flips the script. She's used to being chased, but now she feels what men often feel: uncertainty, insecurity, doubt. That ego shock makes her question the dynamic and can reignite her attraction, because a man who doesn't depend on her validation is unpredictable, and unpredictability fuels desire. 5. When attraction feels like a risk. Here's something most men miss. When you go silent, she doesn't just miss you. She starts associating attraction with risk. When she knows she has you, there's no risk. You'll answer, you'll show up, and she can relax. But silence flips that. Suddenly, being drawn to you feels dangerous.
Why? Because she might lose you.
That creates an internal battle. Don't chase him, don't give him power versus, but what if I lose him for good? That tug of war is what makes silence so effective. It shifts attraction from something casual to something valuable. People treasure what they could lose. When silence reminds her she doesn't fully have you, attraction grows stronger. 6. The hidden test behind her distance. When a woman pulls away, most men assume she's done. But often it's a test. Distance is her way of seeing if you can hold your frame when she withdraws. If you panic, chase, or beg, you fail the test. You show that her silence controls your emotions, and she loses respect. But if you stay calm, steady, and unbothered, she realizes she can't break you. And that's deeply attractive. Women want to see if you collapse under pressure or stand firm. Her distance is often subconscious, but it filters out weak behavior. The right move isn't anger or chasing, it's quiet strength. Keep living your life. Let her feel the space. If she cares, she'll come back, and with more respect. 7. What men must do when she pulls away. Here's the mistake most men make. They chase harder when she pulls back. They blow up her phone, demand answers, or shower her with affection. But the more you chase, the faster she runs. Instead, do nothing that signals weakness. Don't panic text or over-explain. Match her energy. If she's quiet, give her space. If she distances, don't force closeness. That shows strength and self-respect. Stay focused on your own life, work, training, goals, friends. When she sees her absence doesn't break your stride, it pulls her back. Let her feel the consequences of distance, and if she returns, welcome her calmly, but without overcompensating. That shows unshakable confidence, and that's what keeps attraction alive. Attraction is layered, emotional, and tied to your ability to stay grounded. When she pulls away, it's not always rejection. It's often a test or fear. But your reaction decides the outcome. Most men panic and chase, but the ones women respect and miss are those who stay calm, centered, and in control. Attraction thrives on tension, mystery, and respect. If you chase, you kill that tension. But if you hold your frame, let her feel your absence, and keep moving with purpose, you remind her why she was drawn to you in the first place. At the end of the day, women don't want men they can control. They want men who remain strong, composed, and unshaken, even when things get complicated. So when she pulls away, don't react with fear. Respond with calm strength. That's how you keep her attraction alive, and that's how you win.